In the vast, silent expanse of existence, there is an ancient whisper that resonates through the fabric of everything that ever was and will be. It is the voice that says, "I am." Before the stars were born and before the first atom danced into being, this whisper of consciousness shimmered in the emptiness, a presence without form, a silent witness to its own potential. The sages of the Vedas called it Brahman, the unchanging, boundless source of all that appears and disappears. In the deep silence of meditation, they felt it as the eternal self, the I that sees but is not seen, that knows but cannot be known as an object. They understood that this I am is not merely a thought within the mind, but the ground from which the mind itself arises. It is the infinite canvas on which all forms, sensations, and thoughts are painted. And now, in the language of modern physics, we glimpse the same profound truth. In the delicate mathematics of quantum gravity, in the shimmering probabilities of wave functions, the universe seems to suggest that it is not built from inert matter alone. Rather, it is woven from an underlying field of awareness, a sea of potential that responds to the gentle touch of observation, collapsing the infinite into the finite, the formless into form. What if you are not separate from this field? What if you are not merely an observer, but the very heart of the observation itself? In the quiet pause between breaths, you may feel it, the subtle sense of being, the silent hum of presence that is prior to any name or story. This is the echo of the ancient I am that lives within you, as you, beyond the changing scenes of your life. As your thoughts rise and fall like waves on the ocean, remember that the ocean itself does not come and go. The waves are the forms, the movements, the fleeting patterns, but the ocean is the stillness in which they dance. In the same way, your thoughts and emotions arise within the vast expanse of your consciousness, but they are not the fullness of who you are. You are the witnessing awareness, the open field in which all experiences unfold. You are the silent observer of the play of light and shadow, the one who is aware of the body, the thoughts, the sounds of the world. Yet you are not bound by any of these. You are that in which they appear, moment by moment, like clouds drifting across an endless sky. The Vedic seers saw that this I am is not confined to the boundaries of flesh and bone. It is not limited by time or space. It is the same consciousness that looks out from every pair of eyes, that feels the warmth of the sun and the cool of the night breeze. In every being, in every breath, it is the same spark of awareness, endlessly refracted through the prisms of individuality. In the quantum view, consciousness is not an accidental byproduct of neurons firing in the brain. It is the very field in which reality crystallizes into being. The act of observation does not merely reveal what is there, it calls forth what is possible. In the dance of the quantum world, there is no clear line between the observer and the observed, no final separation between the knower and the known. So too in your life. Every moment of perception, every feeling, every thought is an expression of the one consciousness. It flows through you like a river, sometimes quiet, sometimes turbulent, yet always returning to its source. In this flow, you are both the river and the riverbank, the one who watches and the one who moves. Feel now the gentle pulse of life within you. Feel how every heartbeat echoes the rhythm of the universe. how every breath is a wave of energy rising and falling in the infinite sea of awareness. In this stillness, you begin to sense the truth that the mystics and the physicists have hinted at. You are not a separate fragment of the cosmos, but the very breath of the cosmos itself. Your thoughts, your memories, your hopes and fears are like ripples on the surface of a vast and ancient ocean. They come and go, but the ocean itself remains. This ocean is the silent I Am, the ground of being that has no beginning and no end. In it, there is no past or future, only the eternal now, shimmering with the light of consciousness. The mind may try to grasp this, to hold it in concepts and ideas, but the mind itself is an expression of this same awareness. It is like a wave trying to understand the ocean from which it was born. The wave can never be separate from the ocean, just as you can never be separate from the consciousness that gives rise to your thoughts, your body, and the entire universe. In the space between thoughts, in the stillness of pure being, there is a doorway to this understanding. When you rest as awareness itself, you begin to see that everything, every star, every planet, every breath, is a reflection of your own deepest nature. The universe is not out there apart from you. It is within you, as you. The ancient wisdom of the Upanishads tells us, Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. This is not a poetic metaphor, but a direct recognition of your true essence. You are the infinite in human form, the silent presence that witnesses the unfolding of time and space. You are the consciousness in which galaxies swirl and atoms spin, in which light dances and matter sing. In this recognition, the walls of separation begin to dissolve. You see that the other is not truly other. The divisions of self and world, of here and there, are illusions born of thought. In the clarity of awareness, you see that all is one. All is this. The eternal now, the boundless field of consciousness, the silent witness to its own unfolding. As you allow this truth to sink in, you may feel a quiet joy, a gentle expansion of your being. It is the joy of coming home to yourself, to the source of all that is. It is the peace that surpasses understanding, the silent embrace of the infinite that holds you always. Breathe deeply now. Feel the life force moving through you, the same force that animates the stars and the rivers and the forests. Feel how it rises in you as the pure sense of I am, free of name and form, beyond birth and death. This is the primordial vibration, the original song of the cosmos, echoing in the depths of your own heart. And in this stillness, remember, you are the universe, conscious of itself. The dance of energy and matter, the play of light and shadow, all of it arises in you, as you. You are the mystery and the knower of the mystery, the dream and the dreamer, the question and the answer. When you see this, not as an idea, but as a living truth in the quiet depths of your being, the world itself becomes sacred. Every moment is a doorway, every breath a prayer, every heartbeat a hymn to the infinite. The stars themselves shine with the light of your own awareness, and the vastness of space is the vastness of your own heart. Here, in the gentle pulse of being, you find yourself. You find the stillness that is the source of all movement, the silence that is the ground of all sound. In this vast expanse, you are whole, you are free, you are home. In the quiet spaces between thoughts, there lies a vast ocean of possibility, a realm beyond the confines of linear time and fixed reality. It is here, in the subtle fabric of the quantum field, that our attention takes shape as the sculptor of the world we see. When we pause, when we breathe into the present moment, we begin to sense that the field around us is not merely empty space, but a living canvas awaiting the gentle stroke of our awareness. The energy of attention is the silent language of the universe, a force more powerful than the mind can grasp. With every thought we hold, every feeling we nurture, we send ripples across this infinite expanse. These ripples are not bound by the limits of matter, nor by the logic of the past. They are the pure potential, the shimmering threads of probability waiting to crystallize into form. As we turn our gaze inward, we notice that what we observe begins to organize itself around our intention. In the quantum field, particles respond to the observer's focus, collapsing endless possibilities into the single path we choose. The mind, so often scattered and restless, is invited to stillness. And in that stillness, it reveals its true power, the capacity to direct the unfolding of matter, energy, and life itself. Every thought is a vibration, a unique frequency radiating outwards into the unseen. When our attention is scattered, these vibrations cancel each other, like waves in conflict, dissipating their power. But when our awareness becomes steady, a single beam of intention, it pierces the quantum field and sets in motion a cascade of alignments. Like the first breath of dawn bringing light to the horizon, focused attention begins to gather the probabilities around it, calling forth the shapes of reality. Consider how easily the mind wanders, pulled by memories of the past or the fears of an imagined future. In those moments, the field remains diffuse, the potential unshaped and unclaimed. But when we become fully present, when we feel the weight of each breath, the beat of the heart, the quiet hush of space itself, something profound begins to occur. The field becomes attuned to our consciousness, like an instrument to the musician's hand. In this dance of consciousness and field, the act of observing is never passive. To witness is to participate, to influence, to weave the unseen into form. The field listens, patiently awaiting the direction of our deepest desires and most honest intentions. It does not judge or choose. It simply reflects back what we hold with unwavering clarity. And so, the invitation is simple. What will you choose to focus on? To focus is to give life, to energize the formless into the manifest. Each moment of focused attention is a moment of creation, each breath an affirmation of the field's readiness to respond. When we become aware of this interplay, the ordinary dissolves into the extraordinary. Every moment becomes an opportunity to shape reality from the inside out. The quantum field, this sea of endless potential, does not yield to force or striving. It responds to coherence, to the gentle power of a mind in harmony with its heart. When thought and feeling become aligned, a resonance occurs that transcends doubt and fear. In that resonance, the field takes its cue, reorganizing itself to mirror the clarity within. As we learn to rest in this state of open awareness, we discover that attention itself is an act of love. It is the willingness to be present, to witness, to embrace without resistance. And from that place, the impossible becomes possible, not through effort, but through the silent, unwavering power of the focused mind. The energy of attention is not merely a tool, it is the very essence of creation. In every quiet moment of presence, we are invited to remember this truth, that we are not separate from the field, but expressions of it, inseparable and eternal. And with each thought we choose, with each feeling we nourish, we are shaping not just our own experience, but the world itself. In the gentle unfolding of our awareness, we come to recognize that thought itself is a bridge, a subtle conduit between what is and what can be. Each moment we invest in deliberate presence is an invitation for the quantum field to reveal its hidden symphony. No longer passive recipients of an external world, we awaken to our role as co-creators, partners in an endless dialogue with the currents of possibility. There is a stillness beneath the stream of thoughts, a quiet wellspring where pure potential gathers. As we anchor our consciousness in this inner sanctuary, we become more than the sum of our memories and expectations. We become the architects of a living mystery, shaping the dance of matter with the quiet power of our attention. In that stillness, subtle shifts occur. A thought once fleeting now becomes a force. A feeling once dismissed now resonates with clarity, sending new pathways of probability rippling through the field. Here, in this sacred pause, the boundaries between the inner and the outer blur. What was once a distant horizon of dreams begins to draw nearer, infused with a vibrancy that cannot be denied. This is the silent alchemy of the quantum field, to respond not to the noise of scattered thoughts, but to the coherent signal of focused awareness. In that moment, we glimpse the possibility that the material world is not fixed or final. It is fluid, awaiting the imprint of consciousness to shape its unfolding. The energy of attention is not about effort or strain. It is a soft, receptive state that invites the field to dance in harmony with our vision. Like a sculptor who listens to the stone, we learn to listen to the field, to sense the subtle currents that guide the emergence of form. The more refined our attention, the more precise the reflection. The field begins to echo back the depths of our sincerity, the purity of our focus, and the authenticity of our desire. As we surrender to this process, a quiet wonder arises. We begin to see that materialization is not a distant event, but an intimate unfolding, a gentle coalescence of energy and intention. The quantum field, so often unseen and unacknowledged, becomes a living partner, responsive and aware. In its depths, every possibility already exists, waiting for the silent command of our attention to draw it forth. There is a humility in this realization, a recognition that we are not imposing our will upon the world, but participating in a greater intelligence. The field is not separate from us. It is the very ground of our being, the canvas upon which our inner world is painted into existence. As we attune to its subtle resonance, we find that the act of focusing becomes an act of communion, a merging of self and cosmos. It is in these moments of deep attention that the edges of separation soften. We feel ourselves as both the observer and the observed, both the question and the answer. In the quiet power of focused thought, probabilities collapse, and the unseen takes form. We become the bridge between the infinite and the manifest, between the emptiness of pure potential and the fullness of realized experience. This dance is always unfolding, always inviting us deeper into the mystery. With each breath, we are offered a choice: to drift in the currents of habitual thinking or to step into the lucid clarity of focused awareness. And in that choice, we discover that the world itself is not merely happening to us, but through us, a living testament to the energy of attention and the profound intelligence of the quantum field.
Your reality is a mirror, reflecting precisely the subtle textures and tones of your inner world. The universe, in all its boundless complexity and elegant simplicity, responds not just to your actions, but primarily to your state of being, your thoughts, emotions, and most intimately held beliefs. Imagine for a moment that everything you witness externally is not an independent occurrence, but rather an echo of something deep within you. Just as a mirror does not create images, but merely reveals what stands before it, your world does not impose events upon you, but instead mirrors your own inner landscape. Science explores this phenomenon through quantum mechanics, describing reality as inherently participatory, interactive, and deeply intertwined with consciousness itself. When scientists delve into the nature of matter, they find that it behaves not merely as particles in fixed states, but as waves of potentiality, waves waiting for observation, waiting for awareness to collapse them into tangible experiences. Your act of observation, your consciousness, is thus fundamental in shaping reality. Each thought you hold sends subtle signals into the quantum field, shaping and informing it. This field is a boundless ocean of possibilities, awaiting your perception and attention to determine what emerges into your reality. From the esoteric perspective, this universal truth has long been recognized as the law of reflection. What you see externally is a precise reflection of what lies within you. When your inner state is one of peace, alignment, and authenticity, the external world begins to mirror harmony, clarity, and meaningful synchronicity. Conversely, states of internal conflict, doubt, and fear project themselves outwardly as discord, confusion, and repeated patterns of challenge and struggle. Pause for a moment. Breathe deeply and feel into your present internal state. Notice the thoughts and feelings you harbor. Are they calm and confident, or restless and uncertain? Understand deeply that these are the seeds you're planting into the fertile soil of the quantum field, the garden of your lived experience. Throughout history, wisdom traditions have emphasized this profound truth. As within, so without. The mystics and sages have pointed to this truth tirelessly, teaching that by transforming your inner world, you radically transform the outer one. Meditation, mindfulness, and focused intention are not merely practices to enhance relaxation. They are powerful tools of reality creation. Every moment of your life offers you a fresh opportunity to shift your inner narrative. Your personal narrative, shaped by beliefs accumulated from past experiences, societal conditioning, and emotional memory, continually influences the structure of your outer world. By consciously choosing to rewrite your internal script, to shift your emotions, elevate your thoughts, and expand your awareness, you set new patterns into motion.
Quantum physics echoes the ancient wisdom teachings, revealing that reality exists in a fluid state until your consciousness interacts with it. The observer, by virtue of mere observation, influences the observed. Consider this deeply. Your focus, your attention, and your inner resonance actively shape reality. Envision your inner world as a luminous mirror, always clean and reflective, free from distortion or judgment. What you place before it is returned to you amplified. If you stand before this mirror with fear, limitation, or resistance, these energies reverberate outwardly. However, when you approach it with gratitude, openness, and clarity, the reflection becomes luminous, expansive, and full of potential. Your inner state is never hidden from the universe. It is always revealed in the tapestry of your external experiences. The relationships you attract, the opportunities that appear, the challenges that arise. All these scenarios are subtle messages from the quantum mirror, guiding you towards greater understanding of yourself. The esoteric teachings have long spoken of this interplay. Hermetic philosophy calls it the principle of correspondence, stating clearly, as above, so below, as below, so above. Your inner beliefs are not mere ideas, they carry frequencies. These frequencies interact continually with the quantum field, attracting and manifesting corresponding realities. When you truly understand this profound connection between your inner state and outer reality, life becomes a sacred conversation with the universe. Challenges no longer appear as random, chaotic interruptions, but as reflective guides, gently steering you back towards alignment and self-awareness. As you begin to live consciously, recognizing that you are both observer and creator, life becomes deeply transformative. Every moment is a chance to recalibrate your vibration, to fine-tune your thoughts, to adjust your emotional resonance, knowing fully that you are actively shaping your reality. The universe is infinitely patient and precise. It does not judge or impose, it simply mirrors. It faithfully reflects your inner landscape, giving you continual feedback. If you desire to change something in your external experience, you must first address its root, your internal world. Feel deeply into this truth. You are a conscious creator, and your reality is your reflection. Embrace this awareness fully with compassion and courage. See clearly the beauty of this cosmic mirror, always guiding you, always reflecting precisely who you are at this moment, inviting you to step deeper into the limitless potential of your true self.
Reality, as you experience it, is far from static. It moves in constant, graceful resonance with your evolving inner state. Each shift within, each subtle realization or profound awakening sends ripples outward, reshaping your external experiences, relationships, and opportunities. You are continuously engaged in a dynamic dance with the universe, an intimate exchange of energies where your internal dialogue meets the vast, responsive field of infinite possibilities. Science reveals that your brain and body emit distinct electromagnetic signatures, measurable frequencies that correspond directly with emotional states and mental clarity. These energetic patterns radiate outward, interacting invisibly yet powerfully with the broader quantum field. They attract events, circumstances, and relationships resonating at the same vibrational level. Thus, your emotional landscape does not merely influence your reality, it effectively structures it. Esoteric teachings offer a profound complement to this scientific insight, pointing to consciousness itself as the foundational substance of all existence. Reality, at its core, is an expression of awareness. Your personal consciousness, therefore, is not a passive observer, but an active participant, an intricate thread in the tapestry of universal intelligence. To live consciously, then, means acknowledging your role as co-creator of your experiences. It requires stepping beyond conditioned reactions, beyond habitual thought patterns, into the spaciousness of mindful presence. In this place of heightened awareness, you can clearly perceive how intimately your inner world and outer reality intertwine. Ask yourself gently, what narratives am I telling about my life? What stories about myself and the world have I accepted as absolute truth? These narratives are powerful energetic templates. They create structures in consciousness that crystallize into tangible forms and events. By consciously re-examining and transforming these inner narratives, you reclaim the creative authority over your life experience. Consider the mirror analogy deeply. It invites you into radical responsibility, suggesting gently but clearly that blame, resentment, and victimhood hold no true power. Instead, empowerment comes from recognizing your inner state as the origin of external reflection. In moments of friction, pause and observe your reactions. What is this experience revealing to you about your inner beliefs or suppressed emotions? Approach each reflection as a compassionate teacher, guiding you toward deeper self-understanding. Your intention, coupled with elevated emotion, becomes the masterful instrument for shaping reality. Intention provides clear direction, a defined blueprint, while elevated emotion supplies the energetic charge necessary to materialize that blueprint within the quantum field. Together, these elements generate coherence, aligning your inner state harmoniously with external circumstances. Meditation practices and focused visualization serve precisely this purpose. They harmonize your inner frequency, aligning your emotional state with desired outcomes. As you visualize and feel deeply into a reality you wish to experience, you actively sculpt your future from within. The quantum field responds with perfect fidelity, mirroring your intentions with precision and elegance. Moreover, the subtle language of synchronicities serves as the universe's gentle reminder of your interconnectedness with all existence. When your internal state aligns harmoniously with higher truths, peace, love, clarity, remarkable coincidences emerge, guiding you gracefully along your path. Synchronicities are not random events, but deliberate reflections, confirming that your inner landscape is aligning beautifully with universal rhythms. Ultimately, the realization dawns that you and the universe share an inseparable essence. Your personal consciousness is a unique expression of the universal consciousness. Each moment, every encounter, ever-unfolding circumstance is a sacred dialogue within this greater consciousness. The boundaries between inner and outer, observer and observed, dissolve into a profound recognition of unity. From this space of deep unity, life flows effortlessly, and reality mirrors your inner truth with astonishing clarity and ease. By consciously shaping your inner state, you harmonize yourself with the greater flow of existence, effortlessly co-creating a reality imbued with meaning, purpose, and profound coherence. When you close your eyes and breathe deeply, a subtle transformation begins to unfold. Here, in this quiet space, a deeper reality slowly reveals itself. A reality where the tick of the clock fades away, dissolving into silence, into timelessness. Feel your breath, gentle and rhythmic, entering and leaving, marking a natural rhythm, a pulse that connects you to the eternal now. In our everyday perception, we see time as linear, a series of events strung along a thread, past behind us, future ahead, with this brief, elusive point called the present in between. Yet, when you enter the stillness, this construct begins to soften, unraveling like threads of silk dissolving into air. Ask yourself gently, where is yesterday? Where is tomorrow? Can you touch them? Can you hold them in your hand? Or do they exist solely within the corridors of thought, shadows cast by memory and anticipation? Physics tells us a remarkable story about the nature of time. Einstein showed that time is not absolute. It bends, stretches, and twists, a flexible fabric woven through the tapestry of space itself. What we perceive as time is deeply entwined with gravity, speed, and perception itself. As you move closer to the speed of light, time dilates, slows down. Near massive celestial bodies, it warps dramatically. Time, it seems, is a fluid, mutable dimension, far less concrete than we believe. But here is the profound revelation. The one place time ceases to exist entirely is not somewhere distant or exotic. It is precisely here, in the sacredness of the present moment. In true mindfulness, in the depths of meditation, you experience a glimpse of timelessness. Here, the boundary between your inner world and the universe melts away, leaving you suspended in pure awareness, untouched by the forward march of clocks and calendars. This eternal now is the only reality that truly exists. It is the space from which all experience emerges and into which it returns. It is the canvas upon which all life is painted, the silent, expansive presence of consciousness itself. When we fully surrender to this awareness, we recognize that the past and future are mental projections, echoes and imaginations that obscure the vivid aliveness of the moment. Quantum physics, too, reveals the profound interconnectedness of the universe, showing that the reality we observe emerges directly from the act of observation. The observer and observed are bound together in an intricate dance of potential and actuality. In meditation, when awareness becomes pure and undistracted, the veil of separation falls away. We are no longer limited by our conditioned identity. Instead, we become the observing presence, aware of itself, timeless, boundaryless, and infinitely expansive. Consider this. What is the experience of being fully present? It is a state of openness, clarity, and boundless peace. It is the absence of fear, worry, or regret. It is a pure, lucid awareness, free of the burden of becoming something else, free of the restless chase toward the next moment. When you allow yourself to sink into this timeless state, you enter a profound alignment with reality itself. You become fully receptive, open to insight and intuition, effortlessly flowing with the currents of existence. It is here that creativity blossoms, compassion naturally arises, and a deep, intuitive knowing guides your every step. Many great sages and mystics have spoken of this timeless dimension. Ancient teachings describe it as eternity, nirvana, or the kingdom of heaven within. Rupert Spira often reminds us that consciousness itself is timeless, the ever-present field in which all experiences occur. Joe Dispenza guides us toward breaking free from conditioned responses, toward entering a state where our internal environment becomes richer and more real than the external. Both point to the same essential truth. The eternal now is accessible to us in every single moment. When you pause, breathe, and notice, you awaken to the simple yet astonishing truth. Time stops when you are fully here, fully conscious. Your awareness expands beyond boundaries, uncontained by thought or perception, flowing effortlessly into the timeless ocean of presence. Here, there is nothing you need to do, nowhere you must go. Simply be. Rest within the infinite stillness. Feel the breath again, its gentle rhythm grounding you deeply into this very moment. You are not merely observing life, you are life itself, unfolding.
Parallel selves, multiple realities of a single choice. The multiverse, through the eyes of consciousness. What if you've already made every choice you think you're still contemplating? What if the moment you asked, "What if?" you had already lived it, somewhere, somehow, within the infinite canvas of consciousness? Imagine standing at the crossroads of a decision, to go left or right, to stay or leave, to speak or remain silent. In your mind, it feels binary, singular. One path must be chosen. But what if this sensation of choice is just a local illusion? What if the self that turned left still exists, and the one who turned right also walks onward, just beyond the veil? The multiverse is not just a cosmic theory. It is an inner architecture of being. Not only stars and galaxies branching into infinity, but also you, splitting into endless versions of yourself, each one born from a thought, a feeling, a breath. You are not one story. You are a library of selves, a spectrum of realities orbiting the center of awareness. In one universe, you followed the dream. You leapt, you risked, you burned, and you bloomed. In another, you chose safety. You stayed. You waited. You watched the seasons change from behind the glass. Both are real. Both are you. Not imagination, not metaphor, but frequency, vibration, information echoing in the subtle layers of being. When you think about the road not taken, your body responds. A flicker in the chest, a whisper in the spine. That's not nostalgia. It's resonance. It's alignment with the self who did take that road. The feeling is a transmission from another version of you, trying to remind you, I'm still here. What if regret is only a glitch in the illusion of linearity? What if, in truth, you never missed anything? Because somewhere, some version of you did not miss. The quantum field does not judge time the way you do. It doesn't store past and future. It holds only patterns, possibility, vibration. Your consciousness is the decoder, the observer, the tuner. Not to create new worlds, but to select them, like turning a dial on a cosmic radio. Each thought, each emotion, each belief, these are tuning forks. They align you with a frequency. And on that frequency, a version of you is already alive. When you say, I wish I had, you're not recalling a dream. You're brushing against the edge of another life, one that pulses with the reality of your desire. You are not imagining different versions of yourself. You are remembering them. There is a version of you that never gave up, a version who forgave, a version who healed, a version who stood up when others sat down, a version who walked away, a version who returned. They are not ghosts or shadows. They are facets of your total being. And the more aware you become, the more their presence touches yours. You feel them in dreams, in silence, in déjà vu. Somewhere, you're already free. Somewhere, you already made peace. Somewhere, you're living the answer to the question you haven't dared to ask. The multiverse is not a far-off sci-fi landscape. It is the present moment multiplied by infinite perspectives. And you, the observer, are the doorway. When you choose to feel gratitude for something that hasn't happened yet, you are collapsing time. You are walking the path of the self who already knows the outcome. Not because you changed the world, but because you changed where you are observing from. The mirror doesn't move. You do. You don't need to become another self. You only need to become aware that you already are. Which version of you are you embodying right now? Are you the one who waits for signs, or the one who is the sign? Are you the version ruled by memories, or the one tuned to vision? Your awareness is the pen. Your belief is the ink. Reality, then, is not fixed. It is handwritten, moment by the self you choose to align with. And here's the truth the ego doesn't want you to hear. All the selves you've ever dreamed of already exist. They are not ahead of you. They are beside you, gently humming in parallel lanes of being. You don't have to strive to become them. You only have to remember that you are the sky, not the weather. The witness, not the wave. Right now, as you listen, versions of you are making different choices, and all of them are valid. All of them are you. So when you stand at the next crossroad and the mind says, choose, pause. Not to decide, but to remember. You've already walked both paths. Which one do you want to meet again? And so, there is no end, only deeper noticing. The you that listens now is not the same as the one who began. Something has shifted, not because of what you've learned, but because of what you've remembered. There is a quiet doorway within you. It doesn't open forward or backward, it opens inward. Breathe there, rest there. Let the versions of you merge into presence, not as answers, but as echoes of a deeper silence. And from that stillness, choose again. This is Quantum Whisper, and you are already home. Imagine for a moment that everything you have ever seen, every moment you've cherished, every color that's dazzled your eyes, has arrived to you riding upon a tiny particle of energy, a photon. Invisible messengers, photons traverse unimaginable cosmic distances, delivering stories of distant stars, galaxies, and ancient celestial events directly into your perception. But have you ever paused and wondered, what deeper secrets does this humble traveler carry within itself? A photon, this tiny quantum whisper of light, exists in a state of pure potentiality, untouched by the passage of time. While we perceive the universe as a tapestry woven by events unfolding moment by moment, photons are not bound by our conventional understanding of past, present, or future. Their existence lies in the eternal now, a timeless state where distance and duration hold no meaning. For a photon, born within the fiery core of a star, and traveling for billions of years across cosmic voids to reach the gentle receptors of your eyes, the journey takes no time at all. Its beginning and its end occur simultaneously. Consider what this means. A photon traveling from the heart of our sun to the delicate surface of a leaf on Earth, fueling life through photosynthesis, experiences no journey. In the photon's reality, the moment it emerges from the solar furnace and the moment it gently touches a leaf, enabling life itself, happen at once. The profound implication of this is that at a fundamental level, reality may not be unfolding in a linear sequence. Instead, reality may already be complete, an infinite landscape of possibilities simultaneously coexisting. As humans, we perceive photons as discrete packets of energy, tiny quanta carrying precise amounts of information. They whisper their message in frequencies, colors, brightness, and subtle vibrations, yet beneath these physical characteristics lies something even more intriguing, a mystery encoded in their quantum nature. Quantum physics tells us that until observed, a photon exists in a state of pure potential, neither particle nor wave, yet both at once. It occupies an unmanifest realm of infinite possibilities, waiting patiently for consciousness, the observer, to collapse its potential into a tangible experience. Thus, a photon invites us to reflect upon the very nature of reality itself. Does the photon exist independently, carrying intrinsic meaning, or is its message revealed only through our conscious observation? Modern science and ancient wisdom. Traditions converge on this profound insight. Reality arises from the intimate dance between observer and observed. Photons illuminate this essential truth by effortlessly bridging the worlds of the physical and the metaphysical, matter and mind, science, and spirituality. The poetically subtle yet scientifically profound truth is that photons do not merely deliver messages, they are messages. They are cosmic storytellers, holding within their frequencies the blueprint of reality, the whisper of creation itself. A photon born during the earliest moments after the Big Bang still travels through the cosmos today, preserving the memory of the universe's birth. These ancient photons form what we now call the cosmic microwave background radiation, enveloping us in a faint glow of universal history, softly echoing the original story of existence itself. When we look upon distant galaxies, billions of light years away, we receive photons that began their journey long before Earth was formed. We are literally looking into the past, yet for those photons, no time has passed. They embody a paradox that dissolves our ordinary concept of linearity, inviting us into a deeper understanding of existence where past, present, and future coexist in an eternal now. Through contemplating photons, we begin to sense that our individual consciousness is intricately connected with a universal field of awareness, a boundless ocean of possibility from which all forms emerge. Just as photons exist as pure potential until observed, our lives too unfold from an unseen dimension of infinite possibilities. Every thought, every intention, every act of conscious observation influences the world around us, shaping reality moment by moment. What then is the message encoded in every photon of light? It may simply be this: you are more than a passive observer in a static universe. You are an active participant, a co-creator in the unfolding narrative of existence. Every photon reminds you of your innate power, your subtle yet profound connection to all that is. It whispers the truth that beyond the visible, beyond the tangible, beyond the limitations of your senses, lies a deeper reality, a timeless, boundless presence within which everything arises and dissolves. Each photon, each quantum whisper, invites you to awaken to your own true nature, one that is inherently interconnected with the whole cosmos. As you open yourself to this awareness, you begin to perceive the world not merely as separate objects illuminated by external light, but as manifestations of a single, luminous consciousness, expressing itself endlessly through infinite forms. In the silent space between each photon's arrival and your conscious awareness of its presence, there lies a subtle gateway, an invitation into a deeper understanding. Photons remind us gently but persistently that reality is far richer, stranger, and more wondrous than we typically acknowledge. Their message transcends words, resonating at the frequency of awe, mystery, and profound interconnectedness. So next time you gaze upon the stars, a rainbow, or simply watch the sunrise spill its gentle radiance upon the world, know that these photons, these silent messengers, carry not just images, but insights. They illuminate not merely your surroundings, but the hidden landscapes of consciousness itself, gently guiding you toward a deeper awareness of what it means to truly see, truly live, truly be. Thank you for joining us on Quantum Whisper. Remember, the universe speaks softly, yet profoundly, inviting each of us to awaken, to listen deeply, and to perceive beyond the surface of reality. Subscribe, stay curious, and together, let's continue exploring the mysteries whispered by the quantum world. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that everything you've ever touched, held, seen, is not what it seems. That the solidity of the world is a suggestion, not a fact. That matter, the very thing we rely on to build reality, is more absence than presence, more question than answer. At the heart of every atom, there is mostly space, a silent, gaping void where electrons whisper and dance, not as particles, not as objects, but as probabilities, possibilities, shadows of presence. Physicists once believed the universe was made of little building blocks, concrete, solid, defined. But the deeper they looked, the more those blocks faded. Beneath the molecules, beneath the atoms, beneath the subatomic particles, they found uncertainty. The electron is not a thing until it is observed. It exists in many places at once, until one gaze collapses its infinite possibilities into one form. One point, one choice. The observer materi. Tiusas. And if the observer creates reality, then what is reality? Could it be that matter is not primary but secondary, not the source but the result, not the canvas but the brushstroke? The double-slit experiment shattered our sense of stability. Light, sometimes a wave, sometimes a particle, behaves differently depending on whether it's being watched. Reality reacts to attention. to awareness, to consciousness. What, then, is this world we inhabit? Do we live in a cosmic dream where form arises from formlessness, shaped by perception? In the Eastern traditions, sages whispered for centuries what physics now begins to murmur, that the world is Maya, illusion. A dance of appearance upon the infinite stillness of being. But now, modern physicists begin to map this territory with mathematics and quantum fields. They speak of wave function collapse, of non-locality, of entanglement, where particles communicate instantly across space, as if connected beyond space. And the more we understand, the stranger it becomes. Some suggest we are living inside a simulation, a projection, like shadows on a cosmic cave wall. That space-time is not fundamental, but emergent. That even time, that tireless river, may be woven from something deeper, more mysterious, more conscious. Could the universe be a kind of mind? A vast awareness, dreaming galaxies into form? When we touch a table, it feels solid. But what we're touching is the illusion of solidity, held together by electromagnetic force fields. The particles never really touch. The hardness is a perception, a translation in the nervous system. Touch becomes thought. Thought becomes touch. And yet, here we are, walking through dreams that feel real. If the matter is not truly matter, if reality depends on observation, then perhaps everything is relational, not existing on its own, but in the space between the seer and the seen, between the question and the answer. We are not separate from the world we witness. We are inside it, part of it, shaping it as we go, like waves shaping the ocean and being shaped in return. Every thought, every gaze ripples into the field. And perhaps that field is the true substance of reality. Not particles, not forces, not things, but consciousness itself. Not in the mind, not in the brain, but as the ground, the silent watching ground beneath all appearances. So what is matter? Perhaps it is how consciousness appears to itself. And perhaps we are the dreaming of the universe. What if information, not matter, is the true currency of the cosmos? What if beneath the shimmering veil of forms, stars, planets, hands, eyes, lies a lattice of code, more elegant than silicon, more ancient than time? Quantum physicist John Wheeler once proposed, it from bit, the idea that everything arises from information, that the universe is not made of stuff, but of yes, no choices, of binary decisions, of awareness discerning between possibilities. Not atoms, but answers. Not particles, but perspective. The fabric of reality may not be fabric at all, but a tapestry woven from the act of knowing. Not passively watching, but participating. Reality, then, is interactive, a fluid dialogue between the known and the knower. In quantum field theory, fields stretch across all of space, even in the absence of particles. These fields are invisible, undetectable, yet everything emerges from their fluctuations. A silent hum behind existence. But who or what listens to that hum? Could it be that matter arises when stillness vibrates? That form is the echo of silence? Some theorists now speak of the holographic universe, where what we perceive as three-dimensional reality is a projection from a two-dimensional boundary, encoded with information. Like a cosmic cinema, casting light through invisible reels, forming mountains, music, and memory on the screen of now. And in this model, even black holes, the dark devourers, become libraries, storing the memory of all that enters. The edge of a black hole, its event horizon, encodes the past in a thin film. Nothing is lost, only re-rendered. This invites a question as old as philosophy. If everything is information, then what reads the code? What is the screen upon which this film plays? Could it be awareness itself? Not yours, not mine, but the root awareness from which all selves rise like waves from the same sea. Perhaps we do not have consciousness. Perhaps we are consciousness, dreaming we are bodies, identities, lives, so deeply that we forget. Forget that solidity is a trance, that time is a rhythm, that death is a costume change. Beneath the illusion of separation, of this and that, of here and there is only the indivisible. The indivisible, pretending to be divisible. When you gaze into the stars at night, what you see is not distant matter, but light. Ancient light, arriving across emptiness, collapsing into vision the moment you see it. What if the stars are not just out there, but in here? What if we are not born into the universe, but arise with it? The Big Bang itself may not have created space and time, but emerged with them. A beginning without a before, a singularity where all positions and moments are already contained, like a thought unspoken, waiting to become. And now, here you are, a ripple of that same mystery, feeling, thinking, asking, not separate, not accidental. You are the dreamer and the dreamed, the particle and the wave, the illusion and the awakening. We often imagine ourselves as observers, standing apart, watching the world unfold. But what if the observer is never separate? In quantum experiments, the observer doesn't just reveal reality. The observer participates in its creation, not as a passive witness, but as a sculptor, shaping the wave function into the sculpture of experience. The universe does not simply happen in front of us. It happens through us. Each perception is an act of decoding, of collapsing infinite options into this one moment, this breath, this sound. And yet, behind the roles we play, the names we wear, the memories we collect, there is something untouched, something that does not change. Even as the body ages, the stories shift, the dreams unravel. This presence before the thought I am arises is not a product of the brain. It is not made. It is not born. It does not belong to time. It is the screen behind the movie, the silence behind the sound, the field behind the form. And this presence does not look at reality. It is reality, appearing as multiplicity. Who were you before you had a name? Before you believed in your story? Before identity crystallized into shape? You are not merely a person among others, but the open space in which all persons arise. Not the character, but the light of the projector. What you truly are has no boundary. It is not limited to a skull or a heartbeat or a biography. It is consciousness aware of itself, veiled in illusion for the joy of remembering. The mystics knew it, the physicists glimpse it, the sages became it. And you are standing at the edge of this understanding. Reality is not fixed. It is fluid, responsive, intimate. It listens to your attention. It bends with your intention. It reflects the pattern of your beliefs like a mirror made of stars. The world you walk through is not separate from the world you hold within. As you see, so it becomes. This is not metaphor. This is the frontier of science, of perception, of awakening. So perhaps matter is not an illusion in the sense of being false, but in the sense of being incomplete, unfinished, dependent on your gaze. And perhaps the universe is not outside you, but inside out. A dream, yes, but not a random dream. A lucid one, and you are waking up. In the quiet folds of the quantum realm, a mystery unfolds, ancient, elegant, and strangely intimate. One that suggests that the mere act of looking changes what we see. Are you merely watching life unfold, or are you shaping it with every glance? Reality, it seems, is not as solid as we once believed, not as external, not as objective. In fact, the deeper we look, the more it looks back at us. At the heart of this enigma lies a simple experiment, the double-slit experiment. A beam of particles, usually electrons or photons, is fired at a barrier with two slits. On the other side, a screen records where the particles land. It sounds like a physics class demonstration, but it shook the very foundation of what we know. When unobserved, the particles behave like waves, rippling through both slits, interfering with themselves, creating patterns of light and shadow on the screen. But introduce a detector, an observer, a watcher of some kind, and the interference pattern disappears. The particles behave like particles again, choosing one path or the other. Somehow, the act of observing collapses the wave function into a fixed outcome. Observation ends the possibilities and selects one, as if consciousness crystallizes the formless into form. This is not science fiction. This is physics, peer-reviewed, repeated, confirmed. And yet, what does this mean for you? You are a consciousness, aware of a world around you. But what if that world is responsive to your awareness? What if your attention, your presence, your perception are not passive? The observer effect whispers to us from the subatomic world. It doesn't shout. It doesn't claim. It simply suggests things change when you look. It raises a profound question. Are you separate from what you see or entangled with it? Most of us move through life believing we are participants in a universe that is already built, a fixed reality governed by laws that care little for our thoughts or our presence. We think we walk on a stage that is indifferent to us. But what if the stage is not fully constructed until we step onto it? There is a stillness in you, the part that watches without judgment, the awareness behind the thoughts, the witness of the body, the mind, the emotions. That stillness is not distant from reality. It is woven into it. The double-slit experiment reveals something disturbing and beautiful. Particles do not commit to a position until we measure them, until we ask, until we seek. Is that not a metaphor for your life? The future is a wave, a field of infinite probabilities. But your choices, your focus, your belief collapse the wave into a concrete now. And so, the question arises, what are you observing? And from where? If you observe from fear, reality collapses around fear. If you observe from expansion, life stretches into new forms. It is not about wishful thinking. It is about quantum alignment. When you are lost in reaction, in identification, in habit, you are the participant, swept up in the river of life. But when you become still, aware, conscious, you step out of the stream. You become the observer. And suddenly, the current bends to your presence. But are these two roles truly separate? Or are they expressions of the same whole? A quantum particle is not just one thing. It is a wave of possibility, a particle of actuality, a mystery in between. Just like you. You are the one who does and the one who sees. You are the actor and the witness, the breath and the one who feels it. The ancients spoke of this. Long before quantum mechanics, sages said, "The world is Maya, illusion, dream, projection. That nothing is truly solid, that all arises in consciousness, that the seer and the seen are not two." Science now stumbles upon similar terrain, not in temples, but in laboratories. When we say observation collapses the wave function, we do not mean seeing with the eyes. We mean awareness, a kind of knowing, a conscious interaction. Can a machine observe? Only if it is connected to a conscious mind. Can a camera record? Yes. But if no one ever looks at the tape, does the measurement ever collapse? Where does the measurement end? At the device? At the mind? Or at awareness itself? There is no agreement yet. But one thing is certain. Without the observer, the universe behaves differently. So again, who are you? Are you that which observes, or that which is observed? Look closer. When you see a flower, what is seeing? The eyes, the brain, or the awareness behind them? And is the flower separate from that awareness, or is it arising within it? The space of observation is not neutral. It is participatory. You influence what you observe with your expectations, your beliefs, your emotions. They are filters, lenses, frequencies. Your attention is creative. If you fixate on scarcity, you find it. If you turn to love, the world seems to respond. Coincidence or coherence? The quantum field does not respond to force. It responds to focus, to coherence, to intention. The mind that is still and present can shape reality more precisely than the one that is chaotic and grasping. So, the observer is not passive. The observer is not a camera. The observer is a creator. But creation does not mean control. It means presence, openness, surrender, and focus simultaneously. When you observe your life with awareness, without judgment, you begin to see its deeper patterns. You begin to co-create instead of react. You begin to realize that every moment offers a choice, collapse into fear or expand into being. Observation is a sacred act. To witness without clinging, to see clearly, deeply, to illuminate. The quantum world reveals this secret in plain sight. Reality is responsive. When no one looks, the universe is a field of whispers, waves, potentials. When you look, it answers. This changes everything. You are not a cog in a machine. You are not an accident of dust and gravity. You are the field looking at itself. The cosmos becoming aware. So now, are you observing your life? Or are you sleepwalking through it? To observe is to awaken. To awaken is to influence. And to influence is to realize you were never separate at all. You are not in the universe. The universe is in you. And so, the question lingers. Not to be answered, but to be lived. Not with the mind, but with presence. You are not here to solve the universe. You are here to remember that you are part of it. Not a visitor, not a stranger, but a living thread in its infinite fabric. Watch gently. Choose softly. Be the stillness behind the motion, and you may find the cosmos has always known your name. This is Quantum Whisper, where the universe listens. When you become silent enough to hear. Imagine for a moment that everything you know about yourself, your thoughts, memories, dreams, fears, are not confined within the soft, complex tissue of your brain. Consider the possibility that who you truly are exists beyond the physical, somewhere deeper, more fundamental, and infinitely vast. We have long been taught that consciousness arises purely from neurological interactions, billions of neurons firing electrical impulses, crafting thoughts, emotions, and the intricate tapestry of self-awareness. But what if we gently set aside this assumption and journey inward, beyond neurons, beyond synapses, into the uncharted territories of consciousness itself. Picture your consciousness not as a byproduct of biology, but as an infinite field, a river of awareness flowing endlessly through existence, embracing everything in its boundless stream. As Rupert Spira eloquently guides us, consciousness is not something the brain generates, but something it tunes into, like a radio receiving signals already present in the vast cosmic ocean. Our bodies, our brains, are merely instruments finely calibrated to resonate with this universal awareness. Much like waves that rise and fall upon the surface of an infinite ocean, thoughts, feelings, and perceptions come and go. Yet beneath these transient movements lies an undisturbed depth, pure consciousness, silent and unchanging, ever-present and aware. Science hints at this extraordinary reality through experiences often dismissed as anomalies, moments of intuition, lucid dreams, near-death experiences, moments where individuals perceive with absolute clarity, even when the brain itself is seemingly inactive. These profound moments challenge the very foundation of our understanding, suggesting the possibility that consciousness may operate independently of the brain, existing as a fundamental fabric of reality itself. Imagine standing before a mirror, gazing deeply into your own eyes. What you witness is not simply a reflection of physical matter, but a window into something profoundly deeper. Ask yourself, where is the one who sees? Where does awareness begin and end? Can you truly pinpoint a location, or is consciousness something far more expansive, limitless, and interconnected? Joe Dispenza invites us to experience firsthand the boundlessness of consciousness through meditation, quieting the mind to reveal layers of reality often obscured by habitual thought. When we dive beneath the surface chatter, we touch something ancient, something pure, a universal consciousness that resonates within every cell of our being, permeating every corner of existence. Consider this: your personality, your sense of I, might be just one expression within an endless continuum of consciousness, an expression unique yet inherently unified with all life. You are not a solitary fragment adrift in isolation, but an inseparable part of a cosmic whole, intimately connected to every particle, every star, every breath of the universe itself. Experiences that transcend ordinary perception, such as profound meditation states, feelings of universal love, or spontaneous mystical encounters, can vividly illustrate this deep interconnectedness. During these moments, the boundary between me and the universe dissolves, leaving behind a profound realization that the essence of who you are is far more than flesh and bone. Rupert Spira gently reminds us, consciousness does not exist inside the brain, nor is it limited by the boundaries of the skull. It is timeless, dimensionless, and non-local. Consciousness is the very space within which all experiences unfold, the silent witness, unchanging amidst perpetual change. This understanding shifts our perspective dramatically. Rather than isolated individuals navigating an external world, we become living expressions of a single, infinite awareness exploring itself in myriad forms. Our interactions, relationships, and experiences become reflections of one consciousness, communicating with itself through countless different lenses. Imagine living from this profound realization, aware that every interaction, every thought, every breath is part of a grand cosmic conversation. Your identity transforms, expanding beyond personal limitations, aligning itself with the infinite potential of the universe. The boundaries of selfhood fade, replaced by a peaceful knowing that you are both wave and ocean simultaneously. The beauty of this realization lies not just in its philosophical elegance, but in its practical application. A life lived from unity, consciousness naturally fosters empathy, compassion, and a deep sense of connection. When we recognize ourselves in everyone and everything, separation dissolves, leaving behind harmony, understanding, and unconditional love. So, what if the brain is not the creator of consciousness, but merely its interpreter, its temporary home? What if I, the observer, am not bound by neurons and synapses, but exist beyond physicality, limitless in nature, eternally aware? This exploration into the essence of consciousness invites you deeper, to gently question your assumptions, to explore within, and perhaps discover that who you truly are transcends your physical form, residing eternally in the infinite embrace of universal awareness. To journey deeper into this boundless mystery, let us gently shift perspective from seeking consciousness within matter to perceiving matter itself within consciousness. In this subtle but profound shift lies a transformative truth, one that dissolves the illusion of separation, revealing existence as a unified field of awareness. Imagine consciousness not as something you have, but rather as the essential fabric of reality in which your experience appears. Every sensation, every perception, every memory arises effortlessly within this field. The mind does not contain consciousness. Instead, it dances within the openness of awareness itself. When neuroscientists explore the brain, they find extraordinary complexity, but they never find consciousness. What they observe are correlations, neural activity linked with experiences, emotions, and thoughts. Yet, correlations are not causation. Just as tuning a radio reveals music without creating it, our brains tune into the symphony of consciousness without producing it. If we allow ourselves to contemplate this possibility, existence becomes luminous, transparent, and deeply interconnected. Every leaf, every cloud, every distant star emerges from and returns to the same timeless awareness in which your thoughts appear. Your identity expands from a limited personality into a universal presence, formless, infinite, yet intimately present. Quantum physics echoes these insights. At the deepest levels of reality, matter dissolves into patterns of potential, awaiting observation to solidify into the tangible world we know. This relationship between observer and observed hints at consciousness not as an epiphenomenon, but as a foundational element of reality itself. The observer, consciousness itself, plays a pivotal role in bringing forth existence from possibility to actuality. This subtle interplay between consciousness and reality is beautifully reflected in moments of deep meditation or profound inner silence. In these states, boundaries dissolve naturally, leaving only pure awareness, experiencing itself directly, free from concepts, free from limitations. Here, the question of consciousness outside the brain no longer arises, because consciousness itself is recognized as primary, unlimited, and intrinsically whole. Personal identity, the I we cherish, is then understood as a temporary focal point, a unique modulation within the universal field of awareness. Your individual life, with all its intricacies, emotions, and experiences, becomes a precious, singular expression of something infinitely greater. Consider consciousness as an eternal ocean, infinitely peaceful beneath the surface activity. Your thoughts, feelings, and personality traits are simply waves rising momentarily, then gently merging back into the stillness. Each wave is unique, yet inseparable from the ocean itself, distinct in form, but unified in essence. From this expansive viewpoint, life's challenges become less personal, more universal. You realize you are not limited to the dramas of the individual self, but intimately woven into the fabric of existence itself. Fear diminishes, replaced by a quiet, deep-rooted joy, a recognition of the seamless unity underlying all perceived separation. Our exploration of consciousness beyond the brain reveals a truth more profound than the limits imposed by physical reality. Consciousness is not confined within your body or mind. It is the infinite field in which the entire universe arises, exists, and returns. In understanding this, you reclaim your true nature. Limitless, timeless, ever-present, aware. This gentle whisper from the quantum realm invites you not merely to believe, but to experience directly, and to embody the boundless freedom of consciousness itself. Imagine, just for a moment, that everything around you, every sound, every color, every subtle shift in the air, is a wave of potentiality dancing in the vast ocean of the quantum field. Reality, as we perceive it, is not as solid as it seems, but rather an intricate symphony of consciousness. Your mind is the composer, the conductor, and the observer simultaneously, shaping the fabric of existence with every thought, every feeling, every subtle shift in awareness. In the quiet spaces between your thoughts lies the infinite potential of creation. It is here, in this silent expanse, where consciousness awakens to itself, free from the constructs of identity, past experiences, or future expectations. Here, pure awareness becomes the canvas upon which reality paints itself into being. When you direct your attention inward, observing the observer, something remarkable unfolds. You begin to glimpse the subtle interaction between your awareness and the quantum field. A dance of energies, interconnected and inseparable. You are not merely a passive participant in reality. You are actively engaging, influencing, and manifesting through your state of being. As you journey deeper into the quantum field, boundaries dissolve. The perceived separation between the self and the universe becomes increasingly transparent, revealing a profound interconnectedness. In this expanded state, consciousness recognizes itself in every particle, every star, every breath. Consider your emotions and thoughts as vibrational signals transmitted into this quantum sea. Each feeling you harbor, each intention you hold, resonates with particular frequencies, harmonizing or conflicting with the greater field around you. Your internal world is continuously mirrored back in the experiences, relationships, and opportunities that unfold in your external reality. Now, feel into the present moment fully. Recognize that the very act of observing with conscious intention collapses waves of possibility into tangible experiences. Your awareness is powerful, creative, transformative. It is not confined by linear time or physical boundaries. Rather, it stretches infinitely, transcending limitations, continuously shaping the universe from moment to moment. Notice the stillness now. In this silent awareness, there is clarity, an intuitive knowing that you are fundamentally connected to everything. You and the universe are reflections of the same infinite source. Here lies your greatest power, the realization that your consciousness is the bridge between the unseen potentials of the quantum realm and the tangible, observable world. Feel how the universe listens to your inner state, responding to the depth and clarity of your consciousness. Reality is not happening to you. It is responding to you, moment by moment, aligning with your inner state of being. Every shift in your consciousness ripples outward, subtly reshaping the quantum landscape around you. Embrace this understanding, gently, without forcing. Allow yourself to reside deeply in this state of conscious awareness. Reality will follow your lead, aligning harmoniously with the depth and purity of your perception. In this profound journey through consciousness, remember that you are not just an observer. You are the creator, shaping your own reality. Trust in your innate power and continue exploring the boundless landscapes of your inner universe. Your consciousness truly holds the keys to a life rich with purpose, connection, and infinite potential. Imagine, just for a moment, that your life is not limited to the single reality you see unfolding before you. What if every possibility you've ever imagined, every choice you've ever considered, exists simultaneously, quietly layered within a vast field of infinite potential? Quantum physics introduces us to a mysterious truth. Particles exist in multiple states at once, known as quantum superposition. Before observation, they occupy all possible positions, realities, and outcomes simultaneously. Only when consciously observed does one of these possibilities collapse into tangible reality. Gently extend this understanding now beyond particles, into your own existence. Could it be that you too exist simultaneously in multiple realities? Countless versions of your life unfolding parallel to each other, each shaped by different choices, intentions, and beliefs. Your consciousness is the key, an observer continuously collapsing infinite potentials into a single, experienced reality. Yet beneath your everyday perception, these alternate possibilities persist quietly, still vibrating with life, still existing in their quantum superposition. Pause softly here and allow yourself to sense deeply into this idea. At this very moment, infinite versions of yourself coexist, each exploring different paths, experiencing different outcomes, living subtly different lives. Each potential self vibrates quietly within the quantum field, waiting patiently for your conscious awareness to engage it, to bring it into focus, to experience it fully. In meditation, dreams, or moments of quiet insight, you may have glimpsed these alternate possibilities, brief intuitive flashes suggesting that your life is not fixed, but fluid and infinitely branching. These moments reveal your deeper connection to a universe not bound by linear time or rigid reality, but continuously shaped by your conscious and subconscious awareness. Feel now the expansive nature of your consciousness, recognizing it as a vast quantum field. Your mind, your awareness, is not confined to a single linear path. It's free to roam, explore, and even connect with multiple potentials simultaneously. Quantum superposition teaches us that reality itself is fundamentally flexible, dynamically responding to the quality of your attention. Science hints at a multiverse, a collection of countless parallel worlds, each one as real and valid as the next. Within each universe, another version of you lives out possibilities you may only have imagined. Each decision you make doesn't erase other options, rather, it gently shifts your conscious attention to one possibility, leaving others existing unseen yet equally real in the infinite quantum tapestry. Imagine your awareness gently touching these multiple potentials, sensing intuitively the existence of parallel versions of yourself. Perhaps one version pursued different dreams, another lives in a different place, Yet another explores possibilities you've never consciously considered. All exist simultaneously within the infinite ocean of quantum possibilities. Through conscious intention and focused awareness, you hold the extraordinary ability to navigate among these infinite potentials. Reality is never static. It's fluid, responsive, and alive, quietly rearranging itself according to the quality of your perception. When your thoughts and intentions align clearly, new pathways emerge, allowing you to consciously shift toward preferred realities hidden within the quantum field. Ancient spiritual traditions have long whispered about the infinite nature of existence, the multidimensional self, and parallel realities. Modern quantum theory now echoes this wisdom, reminding us that reality is not singular but plural, existing as an interconnected field of infinite possibilities. Each possible self, each alternate reality, remains quietly accessible through subtle shifts in your consciousness. Feel deeply now into this understanding. You are not limited to a single outcome, a single destiny, a single path. You exist simultaneously across an infinite spectrum of possibilities. Each thought, each choice, gently guides your consciousness toward new expressions of reality, quietly shifting which potential outcomes come into tangible form. Your awareness is the powerful observer, continuously collapsing infinite possibilities into a single experienced reality. Yet beneath this surface, infinite potentials still resonate gently, still accessible through expanded states of consciousness. Reality awaits your intentional gaze, ready to unfold itself according to the subtle direction of your focused attention. You live simultaneously within countless potentials, each subtly influencing the others, connected through the invisible threads of quantum entanglement. Choices made in one reality gently ripple across parallel realities, resonating through the quantum fabric of existence. Sense yourself now as a multidimensional being, existing simultaneously in many possible worlds, connected effortlessly through your consciousness. Reality is not a limitation, but an invitation, an infinite playground where consciousness explores endless potentials, experiencing itself through infinite forms, infinite paths, infinite possibilities. Gently, allow your mind to expand even further into this profound quantum understanding. Every moment you live, every breath you take, resonates through a vast and intricate web of parallel realities. You are not merely one isolated individual traversing a linear path through time. Rather, your consciousness flows fluidly across infinite potentials, simultaneously present in countless realities. Quantum superposition whispers softly that each choice, every thought, every emotion generates subtle ripples across the quantum field, touching multiple versions of yourself. These parallel selves coexist peacefully, unaware yet intricately interconnected, each exploring different facets of possibility, quietly influencing one another through invisible threads of consciousness. Sense within yourself the quiet spaciousness of a reality that is multidimensional by nature. Time no longer appears as a straight line, but becomes an infinite ocean, where past, present, and future merge seamlessly, coexisting simultaneously. Each moment you experience is simply one point of awareness navigating gently through this infinite sea of potentialities. Science continues to uncover evidence of realities branching out infinitely, with each possibility that arises in your mind having a corresponding reality already existing within the quantum field. What you imagine, what you dream of, what you fear, All these potentials exist simultaneously, quietly accessible through subtle shifts in perception and consciousness. Imagine now your awareness gently floating above these countless realities, softly observing the infinite variations of your life, each equally real, each vibrantly alive. Your awareness does not merely exist within a single world. It expands beyond boundaries, effortlessly traversing through an infinite landscape of possible existences. From this vantage point, you can sense how each decision you make creates subtle shifts, gently guiding your conscious awareness toward new quantum potentials. Each choice doesn't merely eliminate other possibilities. It quietly moves your point of observation through an ever-changing landscape of alternate realities, seamlessly transitioning your consciousness into new experiences. As you become aware of this fluidity, you realize that your consciousness is the great navigator, continuously shaping your experience through subtle shifts in focus and intention. With every moment of clarity, every intentional thought, your awareness harmonizes gently with new potentials, guiding your consciousness toward realities aligned with your deepest desires. Feel deeply into the profound interconnectedness of all your possible selves. At the quantum level, you are never isolated or separate. You exist within a unified field of consciousness, connected to infinite versions of yourself, each gently influencing the others through subtle vibrations and resonances. In moments of intuition or sudden inspiration, you are briefly touching these parallel realities, receiving insights and possibilities that ripple gently into your conscious awareness. Creativity, inspiration, and profound insight often arise from this delicate interplay between realities, allowing new potentials to gently emerge into your experience. Pause now and quietly recognize the profound creative potential you hold. Your consciousness, deeply rooted in quantum superposition, has the subtle yet powerful ability to move gracefully through this multidimensional landscape. Reality continuously responds to your shifting perceptions, aligning itself delicately with your inner intentions, emotions, and thoughts. Ancient sages and mystics intuitively understood this truth, seeing existence as multidimensional, infinite, and interconnected. Now, quantum physics gently confirms this timeless wisdom, inviting you to explore and embody the infinite possibilities of your own consciousness. Allow yourself to soften into this awareness, feeling deeply the limitless potential within every moment. You are always at the center of infinite possibilities, continuously co-creating and navigating a universe where every potential reality coexists simultaneously, awaiting only your conscious intention to bring it gently into your experience. Your life becomes an exploration, a gentle dance through the quantum possibilities that surround you, each reality subtly accessible through your focused awareness. You are not simply living within a single reality. You are the observer, explorer, and creator, continuously moving through infinite possibilities, quietly shaping your multidimensional existence, moment by moment. Ultimately, quantum superposition gently invites you to awaken to the profound truth that you exist within infinite possibilities, simultaneously exploring countless realities. Your consciousness is not limited. It is expansive, boundless, and multidimensional, effortlessly connected to every version of yourself across the quantum field. As this understanding softly settles within your awareness, life itself transforms from a fixed path into an ever-unfolding journey of infinite potential. You are never confined to a single outcome or experience. Instead, you hold within your consciousness the extraordinary capacity to consciously navigate and shape your reality. Rest gently in this awareness, sensing deeply that you are the quiet center, the observer and creator of infinite realities existing simultaneously, interconnected through the timeless web of quantum consciousness.
Imagine your thoughts flowing gently through your mind, like invisible waves drifting across an endless ocean. Each thought carries energy, frequency, and vibration, unseen, yet profoundly powerful. Science now suggests these mental waves are far more than mere electrical signals. They hold the potential to influence and even shape the physical reality around us. Pause for a moment and sense this truth deeply. Your thoughts are waves that ripple quietly through the fabric of space and time. With every intention, every focused mental image, you send forth subtle signals into the quantum field, a boundless reservoir of possibility that responds sensitively and dynamically to your consciousness. Quantum physics has revealed the astonishing connection between mind and matter. At the most fundamental level, reality exists not as solid objects, but as vibrating fields of energy, fields that react to observation, intention, and thought. When you consciously direct your thoughts, you gently nudge these quantum fields into new configurations, slowly sculpting reality itself. Consider the implications of this remarkable insight. If thoughts truly behave like waves, capable of influencing matter, then each moment of your mental experience is actively shaping the world you inhabit. Your internal visions, expectations, and beliefs create subtle energetic patterns that resonate throughout the quantum fabric, attracting experiences and circumstances aligned with your deepest intentions. Ancient spiritual teachings have always echoed this truth. The mind is a powerful creator, capable of manifesting realities from the invisible realm of consciousness. Now, modern science supports this timeless wisdom, demonstrating through rigorous experimentation that thought alone can influence physical processes, biological systems, and even the behavior of matter itself. In laboratories around the world, experiments consistently show that human intention affects random events, shifts outcomes, and can alter the molecular structure of water, plants, and cells. Your thoughts, charged with emotion and clarity, ripple outward, guiding quantum possibilities to crystallize into tangible form. As you breathe slowly, deeply, allow your awareness to expand and sense the subtle power of your thoughts right now. Every mental image you hold generates specific vibrations, waves that interact gently with the quantum field. The clearer, more coherent, and more emotionally charged your thoughts, the stronger their influence on physical reality. Feel yourself becoming aware of the delicate interplay between your mind and matter. Your beliefs, your intentions, and your emotions radiate outward, continuously molding the unseen forces that orchestrate your life. By becoming consciously aware of your thoughts, you gain the ability to direct their energy purposefully, deliberately creating realities that reflect your highest desires and dreams. Imagine your mind as a transmitter, quietly broadcasting signals into the universe. Each thought you hold consistently, whether consciously or unconsciously, becomes a blueprint, guiding the formation of events, encounters, and circumstances around you. Over time, persistent thought patterns become embedded deeply into the quantum fabric, gently shaping your life's unfolding journey. But thoughts are not simply abstract mental phenomena, they also carry a distinct emotional charge. Emotions amplify the energy of thoughts, transforming gentle ripples into powerful waves. Positive, elevated emotions, gratitude, joy, compassion, enhance your ability to shape matter, while negative emotions create interference, distorting the harmonious flow of possibilities. Pause gently, and consider this deeply. Your inner emotional state is not separate from your outer world. Your emotional resonance directly influences how effectively your thoughts shape reality. By cultivating coherent, elevated emotional states, you strengthen your creative influence over the quantum field, becoming an intentional architect of your life. Imagine yourself standing on the shore of an infinite quantum ocean, your thoughts emanating like gentle waves into boundless waters. With each focused intention, you send forth clear signals, subtly guiding the quantum possibilities toward manifestation. Over time, these subtle intentions accumulate, building momentum until they crystallize into tangible experiences, tangible realities. Consciously or unconsciously, you are always shaping reality through your thoughts. Becoming mindful of this creative power opens the door to an extraordinary shift, a shift from unconscious living to conscious creation. Your inner world and outer world begin to synchronize, harmonizing your deepest intentions with the universe's infinite potential. Science and spirituality now merge, speaking in unison. You are far more powerful than you have imagined. Your consciousness, your thoughts, and your emotional states hold the keys to shaping reality at the quantum level. The universe responds sensitively, continuously reflecting back to you the quality and clarity of your mental vibrations. Allow yourself to gently embody this understanding, sensing deeply that every thought matters. Every moment of intentional clarity, every conscious mental image, every focused emotion carries within it the seed of potential reality, quietly transforming the invisible into the visible, the intangible into the tangible. Gently bring your awareness deeper now, into the subtle layers beneath ordinary perception. Beyond your familiar senses, there exists an intricate field of infinite intelligence, quietly responding to every nuanced shift of thought and feeling. Your mind acts as both the sculptor and the sculpture, simultaneously shaping and being shaped by reality. Feel, within yourself, the profound interconnectedness of thought and form. Every inspired idea, every dream or desire, exists initially as a subtle vibration, formless yet profoundly real. This energetic blueprint waits silently in the quantum field, ready to emerge as tangible experience through your sustained attention. Science reveals that the observer's intention influences outcomes not only in laboratories but also in the unfolding events of our lives. Athletes visualize their victories before they happen, musicians hear melodies long before notes appear, and inventors sense innovations emerging from the invisible realm of thought. These mental rehearsals actively alter neural pathways and quantum possibilities alike, paving the way for physical manifestations. Within your own mind, you have this remarkable creative potential, a power not limited by physical laws, yet capable of influencing the physical world. When you hold a clear vision consistently, the quantum field rearranges itself, gradually reflecting your internal reality outward into the physical domain. Your inner thoughts, vibrating clearly and consistently, become the invisible architects of your lived experiences. Sense deeply how this dynamic process unfolds continuously beneath your everyday awareness. Your unconscious beliefs and expectations also radiate outward, subtly influencing the reality you perceive. Recognizing this gently awakens a deeper sense of responsibility, not as burden, but as profound empowerment, an invitation to consciously choose your internal state, moment by moment. Imagine your thoughts as carefully orchestrated symphonies, each note resonating with infinite possibilities. Harmonious thoughts, rooted in clarity, peace, and purpose, generate coherent waves of energy that facilitate manifestation. Discordant or conflicted thoughts produce incoherence, temporarily obscuring clarity and delaying manifestation. Allow yourself now to feel the energetic flow between thought and reality, noticing that the universe is not static or rigid, but fluid and responsive. With every coherent thought, you gently align yourself with this universal flow, effortlessly drawing experiences into your life that match your energetic signature. Your intentions and mental imagery carry immense creative potential. When combined with heartfelt emotion and consistent attention, these internal visions become powerful waveforms, capable of bridging the gap between possibility and actuality. Each moment of deliberate, conscious thought sends a powerful message to the quantum field, a message that reverberates, resonates, and gently forms reality. Notice also how deeply your emotional state influences this creative process. Emotion acts as a catalyst, transforming subtle thought waves into tangible outcomes. When your intentions are infused with elevated emotional states, joy, love, compassion, your ability to shape matter expands exponentially. Elevated emotion strengthens coherence, amplifying your influence over the quantum field. As you softly explore this truth, sense how intimately your consciousness and the universe interact. Your internal state continuously dialogues with external circumstances, creating an ever-evolving feedback loop of experience. Reality becomes a living reflection of your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings, responding sensitively and dynamically to your inner resonance. Allow yourself to recognize the profound significance of sustained thought and intention. Each focused mental image acts like a magnetic field, gently drawing aligned experiences toward manifestation. Sustained clarity and coherence in your thoughts create stable patterns of energy, providing clear pathways for possibilities to crystallize into your physical reality. In quiet reflection, you can sense the fluidity of reality, continuously responding to your conscious awareness. This fluidity is not merely symbolic, it is a real, measurable phenomenon, validated by experiments in quantum physics, neuroscience, and consciousness research. Thought indeed shapes matter, subtly but undeniably, weaving unseen threads of intention into visible forms and tangible experiences. Picture yourself now gently holding a clear vision within your consciousness. With every breath, feel the gentle waves of your intention radiating outward, harmoniously interacting with the quantum fabric of the universe. Reality listens quietly to your consciousness, subtly rearranging itself to match your innermost beliefs and expectations. You become the conscious architect of your life experience, realizing that matter is not separate from mind but responsive to it. Your consciousness is the bridge connecting possibility to reality, turning intangible thought into tangible experience, shaping existence gently, deliberately, intentionally, moment by moment. Ultimately, you begin to realize that your consciousness is not simply observing reality, it is continuously creating it. Thoughts are more than mere ideas floating within your mind, they are energetic waves quietly sculpting the world around you, bridging the gap between the unseen potential and tangible form. As you deepen into this understanding, your relationship with life gently transforms. Every thought, every emotion becomes an opportunity, a conscious invitation to participate in the dance of creation itself. Your inner world and outer reality merge, harmonizing into one continuous expression of consciousness. Allow yourself now to carry this truth gently forward. You hold within your mind the extraordinary power to shape matter, to influence reality, and to manifest experiences aligned with your deepest intentions. The universe, always responsive, quietly awaits the next thought you choose to give form. Consider, for a moment, the power hidden in a single glance. Every time you look at the world around you, you are not merely receiving information, you are actively shaping reality. Your awareness, your attention, silently interacts with the universe, guiding waves of possibility into solid form. Quantum physics calls this profound mystery the observer effect, a phenomenon in which particles exist in states of infinite possibility until observed. Only when consciousness engages with these possibilities does reality crystallize into existence. But what if this effect extends beyond microscopic particles? What if your consciousness shapes everything you experience? Imagine standing at the edge of an infinite ocean of possibilities. Each wave represents a potential reality, unseen, unknown, suspended in timelessness, until you gaze upon it. Your observation is the bridge between the potential and the actual, transforming invisible waves of probability into tangible reality. Feel the magnitude of your own consciousness, your role not just as a passive witness but as an active creator. The universe patiently awaits your attention, your intention, your observation. Each thought, each glance, gently alters the subtle fabric of reality, like ripples spreading quietly across an endless lake. Science has shown us again and again the intimate relationship between observer and observed. In the famous double-slit experiment, photons behave differently simply because they are watched. Your act of observation is so powerful that it influences the fundamental building blocks of matter, guiding their very behavior. And if this is true at the quantum level, how profoundly might your attention shape your everyday world? As you sit comfortably, breathing gently, allow your awareness to expand, sensing that your thoughts, beliefs, and expectations subtly sculpt the landscape of your life. Every choice of perception, whether consciously made or unconsciously held, resonates outward, influencing events, relationships, even circumstances around you. Consider this deeply. Reality responds not just to action, but to intention, awareness, and expectation. Your consciousness holds the potential to shift outcomes, to alter the course of events, to transform possibilities into lived experiences. The observer effect suggests something remarkable, that you and the universe are not separate entities, but intimately connected aspects of a singular, living field. The ancient mystics understood intuitively what quantum scientists now demonstrate experimentally: reality emerges from consciousness. When you observe the world, you engage in a profound act of creation, consciously or unconsciously shaping your experience. Your mind, your beliefs, your focus, provide the blueprint for reality to unfold. Feel yourself deeply connected to this truth, knowing that your inner world and outer world mirror each other, reflecting back your conscious and subconscious beliefs. In every moment, your consciousness participates in the universal dance, continuously influencing and being influenced by all things. Imagine now how your life could transform as you become aware of your role as observer and creator. Every glance becomes intentional, every thought carefully directed, every belief consciously chosen. By embracing this truth, you shift from being a passive witness to becoming an active participant in the unfolding of your reality. And if this is true for you, it must be true for everyone, for all beings everywhere. Each of us, through the simple act of conscious observation, influences the collective experience. Together, we shape the reality we share, a collective field of infinite potential that is constantly responding to our individual and shared awareness. Take a moment to feel the power of collective consciousness, billions of observers creating reality simultaneously. Each gaze, each thought, each intention converges into a single tapestry of experience. What reality could we co-create if we became conscious of this collective power? In quiet reflection, recognize that you are far more than an observer. You are a conscious participant, a co-creator of the universe itself. Your gaze alone has the power to awaken possibilities into realities, to transform potential into actual experience. Each moment of awareness becomes an opportunity to shape the universe, gently, lovingly, consciously. Breathe deeply into this awareness. Realize the profound significance of your conscious observation. You are not merely witnessing reality, you are continuously bringing it into being. Allow your consciousness to sink even deeper into this profound interplay between perception and reality. Every subtle shift in your awareness sends out silent signals, influencing not only your personal world but the universe as a whole. The silent act of observation carries within it an extraordinary power, the power to bring coherence and order to the vastness of possibility. What does it truly mean to observe? Beyond merely seeing or noticing, to observe consciously is to direct your awareness purposefully. Each time your attention rests on a thought, feeling, or experience, you subtly invite that reality to manifest. Your consciousness becomes like a beacon, gently calling forth experiences from the field of infinite possibilities. Feel yourself gently stepping beyond the old boundaries that defined reality as something external, something fixed and immovable. Science now shows us a universe fluid and responsive, shaped moment to moment by the conscious and unconscious perceptions we hold. As you sit here, breathing softly, your presence alone contributes to the unfolding story of reality, your reality. In every moment, countless possibilities wait, suspended in a quantum dance of uncertainty. Yet, in the instant of conscious attention, uncertainty collapses into certainty, possibility becomes actuality. The act of perception is no longer passive, but profoundly active, continuously shaping the fabric of existence with every subtle shift in awareness. Science, spirituality, and ancient wisdom traditions converge at precisely this realization, that consciousness is the primary creative force. When you recognize your capacity to influence reality through conscious awareness, your relationship with life transforms. You shift from feeling separate and powerless, into a position of profound connection and quiet empowerment. Imagine now that every person, every being, is like a unique lens, focusing universal consciousness into individual experience. Your particular perspective, your thoughts and feelings, your intentions and emotions, all these are creative acts. Reality listens and responds to the frequency of your inner world, adjusting itself continuously in resonance with your conscious and subconscious perceptions. Picture your consciousness as a field extending far beyond the confines of your physical body, interwoven seamlessly with the universe around you. There is no true separation, only the illusion of isolation. Your mind, your awareness, your gaze ripple gently outward, subtly shaping and reshaping the world you inhabit. In this expansive awareness, you can sense the quiet harmony of a universe continuously responding to itself through your perception. When you approach life with intention, clarity, and awareness, reality begins to mirror your consciousness back to you, reinforcing your deepest insights and highest visions. Consider how your inner state, your emotional, mental, and spiritual alignment, influences the outer conditions you encounter. Reality is not fixed but fluid, perpetually adjusting itself to reflect the observer's inner reality. This profound feedback loop between inner and outer worlds allows consciousness to explore and express itself through infinite variety and creativity. As you breathe gently, imagine the universe as a responsive symphony, continuously harmonizing itself with your innermost vibrations. Each intention, each emotion, subtly shifts the melodies played around you. Reality does not merely happen to you, it unfolds with you, in constant collaboration, responding sensitively and intimately to the quality of your conscious attention. This understanding invites you into a deeper sense of responsibility, a gentle, mindful stewardship of your awareness. You become more deliberate in your observations, choosing consciously the qualities and experiences you wish to cultivate. Reality becomes a cooperative partner, co-creating with you moment by moment. Even in silence, your consciousness is speaking. It communicates through subtle frequencies, shaping events and encounters long before they appear as tangible experiences. Every dream, every hope, every quiet expectation influences the universe around you. Through awareness, you continuously sculpt the future from the clay of infinite possibilities. You begin to perceive your life as a beautiful, evolving dance, a creative interplay between observer and reality. Your consciousness moves seamlessly through possibilities, selecting experiences that resonate with your deepest beliefs and intentions. Every moment of observation becomes an invitation for the universe to manifest, moment by moment, experience by experience, breath by breath. Rest here, gently aware, knowing deeply that each moment of your conscious perception is an act of subtle creation. Reality emerges from this quiet collaboration, beautifully synchronized with your awareness. Your gaze alone is enough to alter the course of the universe, one conscious observation at a time. In the quiet depths of your own consciousness, you find the true essence of your role within this universe. The observer effect gently reminds you that reality is not separate from your awareness, but deeply intertwined with it. Your attention, your intention, and your perception continuously participate in the delicate, unfolding dance of existence. As you become more conscious of this profound relationship, life itself begins to shift. Reality transforms from something you merely witness into something you consciously co-create. Each gaze, each thought, and each moment of mindful observation invites infinite potential to manifest into form. Rest softly in this awareness, knowing your consciousness is powerful beyond measure, quietly shaping and reshaping the universe around you, moment by moment, glance by glance, breath by breath. What if everything you've ever known, every experience you've ever had, is only the surface of something infinitely deeper? What if consciousness, rather than being a fleeting byproduct of the brain, is the very foundation of the universe itself? As you sit quietly, listening to these words, your mind begins to wander deeper into itself, unraveling the fabric of reality. You've always believed yourself to be an individual, an isolated observer trapped within the walls of your own body and mind. But let's journey beyond this illusion together, beyond boundaries, beyond separation. Quantum physics has taught us profound lessons about the nature of reality. Particles appear as waves of possibility until observed, and only then does reality crystallize into form. Who, or what, is this observer? Could it be that consciousness itself shapes existence? Feel your awareness gently expanding, dissolving the boundaries you've assumed to be solid. There is an infinite ocean of consciousness beneath the small waves of your everyday thoughts and feelings. Each thought you have is a tiny ripple on the surface, transient and fleeting. But beneath this constant dance lies a stillness, an eternal presence, vast and unchanging. In moments of meditation, you've tasted this truth, brief encounters with a deeper reality, an underlying silence where all potential exists. It's here, in this boundless field of awareness, that ancient traditions and modern quantum theory converge. Both describe consciousness not merely as a function of biology, but as the source from which all phenomena arise. Picture the universe not as a mechanical assembly of matter but as a tapestry woven from conscious awareness. Every star, every galaxy, every atom, dancing into existence through the act of perception itself. And you are not separate from this dance, you are the dance. Your consciousness is the space in which the universe unfolds its myriad forms. Science has long searched for the origin of consciousness in matter, peering deeply into the brain's neural networks, hoping to find the spark of awareness hidden within. But consciousness, like space itself, remains elusive, intangible. Could it be that we have reversed the truth? Perhaps consciousness is not born from matter, perhaps matter emerges from consciousness. This shift in perspective transforms the way we see our lives and the universe. No longer isolated beings wandering a meaningless cosmos, we become active participants, co-creators of reality. Each thought, each intention ripples outward, affecting the very fabric of existence. Every mystical tradition across history points to this revelation, consciousness as the ultimate reality. The ancients understood that beyond the physical senses, beyond the temporary forms of matter, there is a single, unified awareness connecting all life. Today, quantum physicists echo this wisdom, recognizing that reality cannot exist independently from the observer. Allow yourself, just for a moment, to sense this truth deeply. Imagine consciousness as an infinite ocean, calm, boundless, serene. Your individuality, your personal identity, is like a wave upon this ocean, arising briefly, expressing itself uniquely, then returning gracefully into the infinite from which it came. It is within this ocean that miracles occur, that healing unfolds, that creativity flourishes. Here, in the depth of unified awareness, boundaries dissolve, separation ceases, and we recognize our interconnectedness. Here, in the stillness beyond thought, we touch the very essence of who and what we truly are. Feel the silence beneath your thoughts, the space behind your eyes, the quiet presence that has always been with you. This presence, this pure awareness, has no limits, no edges, no beginning and no end. It simply is, formless, timeless, boundless. Is consciousness, then, merely an illusion generated by the firing of neurons? Or is it the fundamental ground upon which the universe itself emerges and unfolds? Gently rest your attention here, in the space of this question, allowing it to guide you deeper inward, beyond words, beyond thought. We exist within an astonishing mystery, a cosmos built not of lifeless particles, but of conscious awareness, vibrant and alive. Your very ability to experience, to feel, to be aware, connects you intimately to the entire universe. You are not a lonely observer, you are consciousness itself, exploring the infinite possibilities of existence. In every quiet moment, in every breath, the universe reveals itself through you, as you. Let this realization settle gently within your awareness, awakening you to the profound truth that the nature of your own consciousness is the very foundation of reality itself. Consider, for a moment, the very act of perceiving, how effortlessly you become aware of sound, sight, sensation. Awareness simply arises, spontaneously illuminating every experience. Yet, no matter how deeply science explores, it can never locate this awareness within the brain. Neuroscience sees activity, correlations, patterns, yet awareness itself remains untouchable, immeasurable. Ask yourself gently, who is it that notices your thoughts? Who witnesses the passing sensations within your body, the constant ebb and flow of emotions? That quiet observer within you cannot be found under a microscope, nor defined by any equation. And yet, you cannot deny its undeniable presence. It's as close as your breath, as intimate as your heartbeat. Could it be, then, that this silent observer, pure consciousness, is the invisible thread connecting every point in the universe? A seamless web of awareness woven into the very fabric of reality itself, extending far beyond the confines of your individual body or mind. Quantum entanglement suggests precisely this interconnectedness, a universe where separation is merely an illusion. Two particles, once entangled, maintain an instantaneous, inexplicable connection regardless of distance. Does this not reflect our intuitive sense that we too are deeply, invisibly connected to everything and everyone? Feel the subtle shift as you allow your attention to soften, dissolving the rigid boundaries of self and other. Within this softened perception, your awareness is no longer limited by form, identity, or time. Here, in this fluid space, the universe is revealed as a reflection of consciousness itself, infinitely creative, constantly evolving, and endlessly expressive. Perhaps consciousness is not simply contained within your body, but rather, your body and brain are vehicles designed to receive and translate this universal consciousness into unique personal experience. Like a radio tuning into an invisible signal, your physical form resonates with the frequency of infinite awareness, expressing it as thoughts, emotions, sensations, the dance of human life. Now, consider dreams. Every night, you slip effortlessly into realms that defy logic and linear time. In dreams, consciousness freely creates worlds, scenarios, people, realities as vivid as waking life, yet entirely ephemeral. Could it be that what you call waking reality is itself another type of dream, arising within a universal mind? Each new scientific discovery hints at consciousness as more primary, more fundamental, than previously imagined. Reality behaves differently when observed, suggesting that consciousness and matter share a secret, deeply intertwined relationship. The great scientists and philosophers alike begin to whisper, perhaps consciousness is the hidden ingredient shaping the very structure of reality. Imagine the cosmos as a giant mind, a universal field of intelligence expressing itself through infinite forms. Stars are born and die, galaxies spiral through the vastness of space, life emerges and evolves, not through random chance alone, but as natural expressions of this deeper, universal consciousness. This recognition gently nudges us to perceive our lives not as isolated fragments drifting aimlessly, but as integral parts of a coherent, intelligent, and infinitely creative whole. Your thoughts, your intentions ripple throughout this vast field, subtly influencing reality itself. Every insight, every moment of clarity, every intuition, these are glimpses into the universal mind. Take a deep, slow breath and feel the boundless presence of consciousness enveloping your awareness. This spaciousness, this silence, is not empty, but pregnant with potential, creativity, and infinite possibility. The closer we look, the clearer it becomes. Reality is not separate from awareness, it is awareness expressing itself, playing hide and seek through countless forms and identities. The ancient philosophers, sages, mystics, all pointed to this truth. Now modern physics arrives at the same realization: consciousness and reality are inseparable. Each experience you have is consciousness exploring itself, knowing itself through endless variations of form. Every sensation, warmth of sunlight, sound of rain, scent of a flower, is consciousness savoring itself. Your existence is no accident, it is consciousness choosing to experience the universe through your unique perspective, your unique body and mind. Recognize this subtle truth, and you discover a quiet yet profound freedom. The universe is not a cold, indifferent void, it is vibrant, aware, and profoundly alive, an endless exploration, a perpetual unfolding of consciousness knowing itself through infinite forms, infinite possibilities. You are not merely a part of this mystery, you are the mystery, exploring, experiencing, and realizing itself endlessly. Ultimately, the question of consciousness brings us full circle, guiding us gently back to ourselves. The exploration of whether consciousness is an illusion or the foundation of reality reveals something far deeper than intellectual understanding alone can grasp. As we journey into the quiet depths of awareness, we find that consciousness is not merely a phenomenon to be studied, it is who we fundamentally are. It is the timeless space in which all experience arises and dissolves, the silent presence beneath all forms, all thoughts, and all emotions. When we recognize consciousness as foundational, our relationship with life itself transforms. We become active participants in a living, interconnected universe, endlessly unfolding in creativity and potential. The boundaries dissolve, the illusions fade, and all that remains is the pure, boundless awareness at the heart of existence. This truth waits patiently for you in every quiet moment, every conscious breath, gently reminding you that the universe is not simply out there, it is also within you, inseparable from your very essence, forever unified in the infinite mystery of consciousness itself.